Discussing motion to accept the bids for the 2025 equipment rental.
It's already done.
No saying whether or not we would rent any of this equipment or how much of it, but that is your pricing and your awarded bids. I make a motion to accept the bids for 2025 equipment rentals. Any second?
You shall really.
No, I need a second first.
Oh, second.
Okay.
How many bids did you get, Jen?
That's it.
Just Carol Dees?
And there was one for, Seal Master.
Yeah, that's a third vendor.
Seal
Yeah,
Master,
yeah.
yeah.
It has to be
Yeah, those-
landscape.
Yeah, that's it. Those are all the bids we got.
Okay. Any other comment? All in favor? Aye. Railroad street side repair.
Is there any opposition to that at all?
No, I heard everyone say
I
aye.
didn't hear it.
Railroad street side repair.
Yeah, so, I received an email from First Energy. This came in on March 6th. And I believe I forwarded a copy to the board. This came from Lacey Strautman, who's our primary contact over there. They're indicating to us how far they're considering moving those power poles. And they're asking the question about the proposed road right-of-way. Right now, we have a variable width right-of-way, not even 33 feet from the edge of the railroad to where those private properties begin on Railroad Street. So, Bankson has prepared a preliminary concept plan for this, high level, what we think might work to repair this road. We haven't surveyed the area yet. We haven't prepared a final design. We have placed a PA1 call out there, design 1 call, notifying the utility owners in the area that we're potentially looking into a design project there. I think in order to, First Energy is asking us how much additional right-of-way we're going to need to take from these property owners to be able to do our project, because that helps them determine if they're still within our public road right-of-way, or if they need to obtain their own private easement for their new power pole locations. So I think in order to answer this question from First Energy, we need to move towards completing our final design, doing a survey, engaging the railroad company, engaging the other utility owners that operate their facilities out there, and moving ahead towards an engineered design to repair this road. So I wanted to talk with the board about this because, you know, there's some engineering effort there to advance this project into the design phase so we can, you know, move towards ultimate construction. But that's where we are. We've received a request for additional information from the power company. Our office, to be able to answer them comprehensively, would need to, you know, move towards something formal at this point. So that's why I asked for this to be on the agenda tonight.
What utilities you involved?
So Peters Creek Sanitary Authority owns sanitary sewer that runs down Railroad Street. In talking to Rick Kovach over there, it's probably 4 or 5 feet off the edge of the road before you get to the berm going down to the railroad. Pennsylvania American has a public water line running back there to it.
Gas, natural gas,
Yeah, I believe there's gas in there as well. Yes.
cable, power.
Power is overhead, and I believe telecom's overhead too, but that's something we'd answer as part of the
Investigation.
design. So we talked about doing 2 things out there: widening Railroad Street towards those private properties, making the road wider a couple feet, and potentially constructing a wall there along the property line with the railroad, because what's happening with that road is it's, you know, when the bank was shaved off and the vegetation no longer supporting that bank, we don't have much in the way of lateral support, and that road is moving.
Towards the
So,
railroad.
Towards the railroad, yeah. There's a, once you climb that first ridge going back to this houses there on the right-hand side, you get to a little plateau, it drops down a little bit in grade, and there's a low spot there, maybe 250 feet off Finleyville-Rama Road, maybe 300 feet at the most. And right there, that pavement is in pretty poor condition. It's asphalt. There's alligator cracking in the asphalt. It's close to disrepair. So the problem being, A, there's not lateral support to hold the road. It's moving towards the railroad for one. And for two, that low spot collects water and the water just seeps down into the road and then moves through. So, to address it, it's gonna be, somewhat expensive. I mean, it's not a cheap fix. That retaining wall between the railroad and the road itself, probably a couple 100 feet at minimum. And obviously we need to talk to the railroad and get their approval to do that. So there's a lot of interested parties. It's not a,
Are you gonna include budgeting for this project?
yes, I'm certainly, I mean, we can do an engineering estimate, for the construction cost.
What about acquiring any of the property that we would need for?
Yeah. Yeah, hard to know at this point what we would need for that. I mean, I think first thing we would need to determine is how much we're gonna widen the road. How much are we really gonna encroach on these people's land? And then,
No,
talking
it's
to a
expensive.
couple of the property owners up there, I don't know that they'd give us a ton of opposition. I haven't talked to
I
everyone,
was
but.
that Adam Castro that was here that said, bring the road to my porch, but I need to get out of my driveway, I need to get an ambulance up there if needed, or a fire truck.
So what are you asking for, Chief? Authorization?
Well, I
easy
think-
Evaluation, investigation?
Yeah, I think the way I foresee the next steps with this project are authorization to proceed into the design phase. Our office would come survey the area, we would put together a design, we would approach the railroad, we would approach the other utility owners, including First Energy. But I can certainly prepare an estimate before that if you'd like. I think we need to look at it two ways. One is if we had we complete the project in-house, or two, we do it at a public bid.
Got a master wall builder working here.
Well, First Energy's poles are within our public road right of way right now. So as part of a potential widening project, they would need to move their poles, and they've indicated that they will do that.
If I recall, that was a bet.
Yeah. So they're asking us for some more information. I can't really give it to them without a design knowing what we're proposing to do. So obviously we have a lot of projects in various states of completion right now. So that's, I think, another thing at some point that needs to be discussed is prioritization on these different jobs, and what do we want to try to tackle this year versus what is a future project, and planning for that. It would help our office if we had a
We can get that list
conversation
at the
about
next
that.
meetings.
That's my goal.
Sounds expensive, but I don't know.
So are you asking us to do anything with this evening? Or are you working on a priority?
Well, do you want me to prepare cost estimates first?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I'll do that first, and then we can table this for now and revisit it at a meeting later this month.
Okay. Reaffirm